everybody. I'm Tracy, the Fresh Coast Stitcher, and today is Monday, December 28th, and I'm back. It's been a while again. I'm really sorry. I think the last time I recorded was in August, maybe. And in all honesty, I did record a video in September, and I just could never get it to upload. So I just gave up and said, screw it, and that was that. And that's really why I haven't recorded another video. It's just a frustration of the upload process. But, so funny story. For years, probably 2 or 3 years, we've had issues with our Wi-Fi periodically. We don't have cable, we just have internet, and then we stream everything, and we have an antenna for local TV. And especially if both boys were here and we had like 12 devices on our Wi-Fi, Kelly and I wouldn't be able to watch TV. It would freeze up all the time. We'd have all kinds of issues, and we always just blamed it on the number of devices we had. Well, and also my uploads were horrible, and I know uploads take a long time to upload anyway, but lots of times they would time out. I would have to shut the Wi-Fi off to every other device in the house, so nothing else was using the Wi-Fi in order to get something to upload. And you can imagine how much my family enjoyed that. So, I don't know, it's probably a month ago now. It was before the Christmas break and everything. Ezra and I, so Ezra was doing virtual school because COVID, and I was working from home, and one day neither of us could do anything. We would get online, it would kick us off, he couldn't do his Zoom calls, and AT&T wasn't having any issues, so it had to be us. So I was looking at our router. I'd reset everything thinking maybe that would help, and I noticed that the cord, so we have DSL, so it's like a phone cable, so where the cord goes into the router, it was kind of frayed and starting to come out. So Kelly went and got a new cable, and ever since it's been wonderful. We've had a couple of issues, but I think they were AT&T. For the most part, it's been perfect. So I'm really hoping that this upload goes a lot better. You'll also notice I'm in a different recording spot in front of my stitchy mess. Because I'm working from home now, pretty much full time because of COVID. The desk that I was using is very small and isn't really meant to be like a work desk necessarily, like for a computer. So, and I started having issues with my shoulder. So I determined that the shoulder issues were coming from using my mouse without anything to support like my elbow. So we moved everything to a different table, and I was able to get like a armrest that works on the table but won't work on the desk because of the way the desk is set up. But the table happens to be my normal recording spot, and there's just not room on the table to actually record anything now with my monitor and everything. So this will probably be my recording location until I go back to work. Hopefully, I don't know, we might be able to go back sometime in January. But honestly, I wouldn't be sad about it being in spring after the bad weather's done. If we ever get any bad weather, we haven't really had any yet, so there's that too. But I'm just gonna jump into things. So it's been a long time, and I have a lot of things that have been going on stitchy wise since I recorded last, but I'm not even gonna try to get everything caught up. One thing I did learn, I'll talk about the thing that I learned this year, and then we'll get into the stitchy stuff. The thing that I learned this year is that I really, early in the year, the whole year actually, got sucked into Flosstube. And that's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing at all. But what happened was, all of you know who've watched for a long time that I was strictly a monogamous stitcher up until Flosstube, and then I wanted to start a Flosstube, and when I did that, I knew that I would have to have other projects to show. It would be super boring to just see the same thing all the time. So I think at the end of last year I had maybe 5 or 6 whips. I think I'd have to count, but I think I had 5 or 6 whips. Now this entire shelf is whips. I think I think I had counted 24. Those plus the ones I have here on the floor to show you are all whips now, and most of them are pretty good size. I wouldn't say that they're all huge, but they're pretty good size. Like, even if I was to stitch continuously on each of them, each one would probably take at least a couple months. A lot of them would take years to finish stitching monogamously. So I've really gotten myself into quite a situation. And then also, because of it being 2020 and COVID, I made myself feel better by buying things. So these are all projects that are completely kitted up, ready to start at any point in time. And these some are kitted up partially, and then this is also full of patterns that aren't kitted up at all. So that happened, and the thing that I learned, squirrel, is that I don't like having this many whips. It bothers me. I feel guilty because I have that many things started. I feel guilty about the amount of money I have sitting here wrapped up in materials and stuff. And I feel guilty about the fact that they're sitting there and not getting touched. So I really need to do something about this. A lot of you are able to have way more whips than I have, and you're perfectly fine with it, and I say go for it. Everybody, you need to do you. If you like to have a lot of whips and you feel good about it and you like to start all the things, which I also like to start all the things, which is part of the problem, you should do that. But for me, I don't like it, so I need to work on this. So that's one of the things that will happen in 2021 is I'm going to work on that a little bit. So stitchy stuff, now that we're 7 minutes in. I'm going to go through, I have a new start, since we just talked about not having those. I'll go through my current whips and my stitchy rotation that I've been using, and it has actually been working really well for me. I'll talk about my new year, new start, plans for 2021, and then, to flip my page of my notes, some personal goals that I want to talk about to hopefully you guys can help keep me accountable in 2021 on some personal goals. So with that, oh, the last thing, I think this will make more sense once you hear my plans, but probably in 2021 I'll be doing monthly updates instead of weekly updates, but we can get into that in a minute. So without further ado, let's do this. I forgot to mention this in my agenda, but I had a finish. So I'm gonna move over a little bit here so I can show things. I finished this is the 2020 Linen and Threads Mystery Quaker sale. So yeah, finished. I am super proud of myself that I was able to keep up with this all year. Every time that it would drop, it actually, because they are in Australia, I think, it dropped a day early for me because they're a day ahead of us. So I would start it, and it would usually take, depending on how big it was, a couple days to a week to finish, and I was able to keep up with it all year, and I'm super proud of myself on that. Don't know when I'm actually going to fully finish it because I have a giant baggy, like freezer bag full of things that I finished this year and have not fully finished yet. So there's that. So that was my finish. My Christmas Day new start is Light of Christmas by Stony Creek. I just want to say real quick, I got these little cards. I don't know if you've probably seen these on other people's floss tubes, and sorry I'm a little bit shaky. They are from S-Word Designs on Etsy. If I remember, I'll link it below. I feel like I'm new to the floss tube thing again, so hopefully I remember all this. But so you can keep track of your fabric, any notes, when you start it, when you finish, what the project is. And these are awesome. So I've started using those. So Light of Christmas is this. Sorry about the glare. And I've had this for a long time. I got it on clearance at Hobby Lobby, you can see, for like $270, probably 20 years ago. Yeah, 20 years ago. The copyright's 2000. But so I've wanted to start this for a long time. So this was my Christmas Day new start, and I didn't get very far because I don't know what I was thinking having a Christmas Day start. You know, it was Christmas Day. The kids were here. It was a busy day, so I didn't get much stitching done. But that's how much I got done. Just a little bit of the door on the lighthouse. And I don't know how good the light's going to be here either. I might have to play with it a little bit next time, if I'm still in this location next time. But, and this one is going to actually be kind of a challenge for me, which will be fun. It has different stitches in it. It has Smyrna crosses, which I've never done, couching, which I've done once and didn't like very much, French knots. It has these rainbow, glisten gloss rainbow blending thread, which is this. I'll take it out of there. So it's got this, that's kind of, I don't know, sparkly, and then this rainbow tweed, which I'm not even sure how that works. And then just this DMC, what's it called? I don't remember what it's called, but you know, the DMC sparkly metallic stuff. So it has all of that. I already in the door used some of this glisten gloss, and it actually works pretty well. So you blend it, it's a blending thread, so I blended it with another color, I don't remember which one, and it just makes it kind of sparkly, and it was pretty easy to work with. I thought it might be a pain in the butt like Kreinick is, but it really wasn't awful. So that will become my 25th day of the month stitch every month for the foreseeable future. Then every Sunday I stitch on Persia, and oh, I forgot to tell you, Light of Christmas is on 28 count black Jobelan. On Sundays I stitch on Persia, which is kind of a favorite of a lot of people, I think. And here is where I'm at on that. See if I can do this. Can't really see very well because it's yellow, but I actually got quite a bit done on this yesterday. So I am on page 6 of 12. So I am almost halfway done. The part that I'm working on now is kind of right here in the middle. So yeah, so I got all this yellow done yesterday, got this done yesterday, and all of this blue up in here done yesterday. It actually goes really fast. This is 18 count white Aida, and I'm stitching it 1/1, and it goes super fast. There's not a lot of color changes. I like to do kind of the smaller motifs and then fill in. It's usually blue or red that gets filled in around the outside, and it goes pretty fast. When I first decided to start working on some of these things just one day a week, I thought I probably wouldn't make much progress, but I actually do. Anytime you touch something, you make progress on it, and that needs to happen for this mess. So that's Persia. On Wednesdays, I'm working on stockings. So last year I stitched a stocking for Lugana. I got it completely stitched, but it's not fully finished yet because I'm just going to wait until I am completely done with all of them. And then I'll fully finish them all at the same time. I'd really like to have them all done by the end of 2021 to display for Christmas. We'll see. So the Lugana is done. I am working on Elliott's now that I'll show you in a minute. And then I have Cassius, Ezra, Kelly, and me. So I have 5-ish to do. So for now, I'm working on them on Wednesdays. They go pretty quick too. As we get closer to the end of the year, if it's starting to look like Wednesdays isn't going to cut it to get all of the other 5 of them done, then I'll have to do something different. But so this is actually, it's for Elliott, but it's called Brett's Stocking. It's by Shepherd Bush Designs, And I am not doing any of the little embellishments or anything. I didn't get the little kit. Lugana's looked fine without it. So yeah, I'm not doing that. And this is on 28 count new Khaki Lugana. They'll all be done in the same fabric. And if I can do this here, it's a lot of fabric. Here's where we're at on Elliott's. So they come along pretty quick. Last Wednesday when I worked on it, I was able to, I got done his name, which I actually had to chart as well. And then, I don't know what this is called, the little head thing on the shepherd. I got done, and all this stuff up here, the back stitching, the bird, and the ivy. So that's coming along pretty good. So that's on Wednesdays. I work on that. On Fridays, I work on the 100 Owl Sal by Owl Forest Embroidery. I don't have a picture to show you because I don't. I think the whole thing's been released now. So the next time I come back at the end of January to do another update, I'll have a picture to show you. It's on the iPad. I didn't think to bring it over. And I am very far behind on this because I only work on it on Fridays. And I didn't work on it this last Friday because it was Christmas and I did the new Christmas start. I'm not going to work on it this Friday because New Year's start. But I'll show you where I'm at. This is on 32 count Jobelan and Treehugger by BeStitchMe. And I love this fabric. So yeah, you can see I'm really far behind. I think I was on week 5, which is down here, but I think this is, I don't remember what week it is, you guys, but anyway, all of these owls, this one was okay. All of this ended up being 1 stitch too low somehow. So because I'm a perfectionist and I thought it would look funny, I tore all of this out a couple weeks ago and restitched all of it. So yeah, so that happened and I'm still behind. But you know, it is what it is. There's also a mistake in this big guy here in the middle. I don't know where it is. He's a stitch off. I think it looks fine. I think it'll be fine. It'll be fine. But I'm not trying to figure that out. So that's where that is, and that is my Friday stitch. So then I also have a focus piece. So my focus piece gets worked on every other day, always, until it's done. So that would be Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. My focus piece gets worked on. And that is called Garden Charm. And this is what it is. And there's a story behind this one. So this is a gift. This is going to be a gift. So I have to have it done by April, which is why it started being my focus piece so that I could get it done. I actually had started it already. I started it originally back in March. And I started it on, I think it was 20 or 22 count Aida that Coffee dyed. And when I dyed it, the hole shrunk, which happens. And then I was stitching it 2/1 because this was back in March and I hadn't really stitched on a lot of any other kind of fabric. I wasn't, 2/1 is just when you stitch on Aida, it's just what you do, right? So it's what I did, and it was awful, you guys. It was horrible. I had finished all of this in like this top part of this vegetable stand, and I couldn't do it anymore. I hated it. I love the pattern. I loved how it was looking. I hated stitching on it. It was horrible, absolutely horrible. So a couple weeks ago, on looking at my card, on December 19th, I made the decision to toss what I had done and completely start over. And it was a hard decision to make, but I don't regret it. It was a wonderful decision to make. So I restarted it on 32 count vintage Stormy Clouds linen, and this is how far I am now again. And I love this. I'm stitching it 2/2, and it's going so much better. I love how it looks. I love the fabric. I think it looks kind of like sky. It's so much easier to stitch on, and I love this. So this is my focus piece that gets stitched on every other day of the week until it's done. So my goal, I'm on kind of on vacation this week. The company I work for is super generous, and I had already planned on taking the 3 days last week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday off, and then we had Thursday, Friday off for Christmas. And then the company I work for made the decision to basically close for this week as a thank you for everything that everybody did during COVID. We do still have some manufacturing that's running because they just can't close, which is sad, but they're getting paid double time and a half to be there all week. So I almost wish I was hourly and was working in manufacturing. But so my goal for this week is to get this bottom part finished. It is it's this bird bath and the fence and the birds. I want to have done by the end of the day Saturday. That's my goal for this week. So hopefully, with any luck, by the time I come back to you with an update at the end of January, I'll also have this whole stand done. And then February, March, maybe, because I have to have it done by April. So that's the plan on that. Okay, so those are all my whips and the kind of the plan. I do have a new year, new start. Like I said, I need to do something about this. It's going to take a long time to get that cleaned up again. And I can't not have new starts because I also love to start new things. So I'm just going to limit them, and I'm not going to say that in 2021 I'm not going to start anything new, because I probably will. And I'm also, as you guys all know, a little bit wishy-washy about plans and stuff. Things change, and that's okay because it's a hobby and I can do what I want. So we'll see how it goes, but that makes me anxious. So my new year, new start is Pandemic by Long Dog Samplers. I'm sure you've all seen this. I like to be behind the 8 ball a little bit. So why not start Pandemic going into the year when hopefully the pandemic is cured? But I'm going to stitch that on, this is 32 count gunmetal linen, and this is I don't even know if I want to unfold this, you guys. This is a giant piece of linen. But so I'm stitching it on that gunmetal in B5200. So I think that's going to look amazing, provided it doesn't drive me crazy. But I think it'll be great. It'll be good. I'm excited about it. So I'll probably work on that Friday or New Year's Eve, because we're not going out, because what are we going to do, right? And I don't want to be around big crowds of people anyway. I don't like to go out for New Year's Eve in the first place, let alone during a pandemic. So the new season of Sabrina comes out on Netflix on New Year's Eve. So I think we're going to probably make nachos, have snacks, and watch Sabrina and stitch on Pandemic. And I'll probably also stitch on that on Friday and then put it away for the foreseeable future, which makes me kind of sad, but it is what it is. So my plans, that brings us to plans. My plan, I kind of already talked about, is to just continue with my rotation. Persia on Sunday, Garden Charm Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, stockings on Wednesday, owls on Friday. Once I finish, once owls is finished, I'm assuming that could very likely be done in April or May. I'll probably pick another whip to throw in there so something else is getting touched. Once the stockings are all done, if that ever happens, it feels super overwhelming. I will probably pick something different to do on Wednesdays, maybe a Christmas stitch. I don't know. We'll figure that out when the time comes. But once Garden Charm is finished, sorry, I stretched my legs out. I'm getting too old to sit on the floor. Once Garden Charm is done, then my plan is to work on Be Still. And I don't know if you guys remember that or not. I'll try to put a picture in. It's been a long time, but it's a big full coverage that I've been working on. I started it, I think, November 2019. I have one page finished. I don't even remember how many pages there are. It's a biggie. It's like monogamously stitching it. It's probably a 2 or 3 year long project. But if I don't start touching it, it's never going to get done. So my plan, let me back up. I'm having a hard time with this talking thing and getting sidetracked. But anyway, so once Garden Charm is finished, Be Still is going to get worked on the first week of every month. On, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. And then the rest of the month will be a focus of something else that I will work on until it's done. I do have 2 smaller projects in here. One is a dimensions kit. I don't remember what it's called. I'll put a picture in, 'cause if I have a picture, I'll put it in. It's tiny, you guys. I could probably have it done in a week or 2, I'm thinking. So I want to knock that one out. And then I also have one that I started. It was a freebie by Lila's Studio, I think, for Valentine's Day last year, that is smaller and probably more than halfway done. So put a picture of that one too if I can find one. So I'll knock those 2 out, and then I think it's probably going to be my focus until it's done will be Map of Hawk Run Hollow, and that very well could take the rest of the year. I'm not sure. I'll have to see how it goes. But my husband I started that one for him on his birthday. It's his favorite pattern that he's seen. I have probably 2 pages of it done, and yeah, but every time he sees me working on something else, he says that doesn't look like Map of Hawk Run Hollow. So I kind of want to get that one knocked out. So that's probably what it'll be. So I think that is it for the stitching. The rest of the video will probably be personal updates. Not really updates. I don't really have much to update. It's just same old stuff. But goals, personal goals for 2021. Yuri's crying at me. You have to wait, buddy. Just a minute, I'm almost done. Anyway, we personal goals. But so if you want to leave, go ahead, leave. I get it. It's not for everybody. My feelings won't be hurt. In fact, I won't even know that you left. But I want to thank everybody for watching and for subscribing. I know it's been a while, and I know there's a lot of content out there right now. So thank you for taking the time to watch my video. When you've got so many other ones to choose from, I really appreciate it, and I look forward to reading your comments, and I try to respond to everybody. I read all the comments. I kind of miss having that interaction with people, so I'm looking forward to that. So if you want to ditch, I completely understand. I hope you have a wonderful new year, and I look forward to talking to you again towards the end of January. But if you want to stay to hear what my personal goals are for 2021, they are, number 1, to get healthy, and number 2, to get my CFM certification for work. So on the get healthy part, I need to lose a few pounds, not a lot. Every time I go to the doctor, she says I need to lose weight. So I'm thinking 20-30 pounds maybe. I carry it well, so people never think that I'm as heavy as what I am. But more important than losing the weight, I just want to feel good. I really love junk food a lot. I like junk food. I like soda. I like fast food. So, and I don't like vegetables very much. I don't really enjoy eating healthy. Does anybody really? I don't know. I think the people who say that they like to eat healthy are just faking it. But anyway, but I know that I need to eat healthy to feel good. And I'm tired a lot. I don't get good sleep. I haven't been moving my body very much lately. I used to get 10,000 steps before I even left work at the end of the day, because I'd go for a walk at lunch. I'd have to, walk further to go to the bathroom, all those things. Since I've been home, I'm lucky if I get like 2,000 steps a day sometimes. So that's not good. And I used to exercise regularly as well, and I haven't been doing that. So those are things that I need to start doing. And I think any weight loss that happens will just be a byproduct of that. And drinking more water. I used to drink, I have like a 20-ounce Yeti coffee cup with the lid. And normally what I would do is I fill it with coffee in the morning and drink that. And then I wash it, and the rest of the day I fill it with water and ice, and I drink ice water. And I would have like one soda at lunchtime. Well, that's kind of gone down the tubes. I don't drink hardly any water lately, and just way too much Diet Pepsi. Way too much Diet Pepsi. So that needs to change too. So that's the plan, is I need to get healthy. I need to start moving my body. I need to get my step count back up. I need to exercise on a regular basis, and I need to cut out a lot of the junk food, the snacking after dinner, and try to eat more vegetables and stuff. So that's one goal. And then the CFM. So I work in facilities and with contract services, and my ultimate goal is to become a facilities manager. And I've been kind of working towards that. I have fantastic leadership. I couldn't ask for better leadership where I work. They are all amazing, incredibly supportive. So the CFM certification is through an organization called IFMA. It's the International Facilities Management Association, and CFM stands for Certified Facilities Manager. I already have my FMP certification, which is Facilities Management Professional, which is one step below the CFM, and quite a bit easier to get. The CFM is kind of a big deal. It is, you study for it, and then you go and you have to sit and take like a 4 or 5 hour long test. The FMP was all online, all open book, so it was relatively easy to do. This one's going to be a little bit more time intensive. So a lot of my time is going to be spent studying. I hope to be able to sit for the test mid to late summer, but so from now until then, there's going to be a lot of studying that's going to have to happen. But it'll be good to have that certification, because if anything ever happens to my job, it'll help me get a job somewhere else easier. And it's just good to have those certifications for professional development. So those are my 2 big goals for 2021 that I just kind of wanted to share with you guys to help me be accountable to myself and to you guys on those. So that's really all I have. Like I said, I'm gonna try to do monthly videos, simply because I'm gonna have the same whips every single week, and it would get really boring to show you guys the same things all the time. So I'll probably have like a half hour ish long video once a month towards the end of the month. I'm gonna I don't know if it'll be the same day every month. It'll just depend on how it falls, but that is my goal, is to have a video every month. And if my plans change as we go through the year, and you know how it is, things change. And I do have more whips than that in these videos. I don't like to have super long videos because they take longer to upload, and I personally don't like watching super long videos. I have to break them up into viewing segments, kind of. So I don't want to have super long videos in it. So if they start being that way, then maybe I'll start having videos more often. But for now, that's the plan. So I'm going to stop rambling and get off here. Thank you again for watching and subscribing and liking and doing all of the things. I appreciate you guys so much, and I look forward to being back on a consistent basis again in 2021. Have a fantastic new year. I hope you all get stitching done. Stay safe, wear your masks, wash your hands, do all the things. I love you guys. See you in January.